Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are starting a very exciting vlog. As you can see the title for this and the thumbnail for this, I am going to read 1,500 pages every day for a week. So I already did 1,000 pages per week for my 1,000 video. This one, 1,500, is for my 5,000 subscribers. As I'm filming this, we haven't actually reached a 5,000 subscribers yet. I think I'm about like a 30 away and it has like gone to a standstill. So I thought I needed to film this soon and then like have it ready for 5,000. I don't know if this is gonna happen anytime soon now, but I'm still gonna film it and I'm just have it ready because this is the week that I'm off and off from work to actually do this challenge. I only need to work one day, and that's what I did last time as well when I did 1,000. Yes, it is absolutely insane. Yes, I'm absolutely gonna suffer. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I thought 1,000 was so fun that I was like, let's do it again but worse. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I don't think it's gonna go well. And I calculated about like, I think last time I needed to read 6 to 7 hours every day to reach 1,000, right? Something. I don't know. Maybe it was less some days. I don't actually remember anymore. This time, I feel like I need to read from 8 to 10 hours to make it, maybe more. That is a long time. That is almost all the hours you're awake. And I just can't procrastinate. Like, I was gonna say, like, I've been done this morning, but I haven't actually. I jumped out of bed, I showered, I filmed some vlog clips for some other vlogs, and now I'm starting this vlog. I'm ready, even though I am home alone right now. So I need to like cook and clean and everything that I usually don't. So that's gonna take more of my time. So it makes me a bit more nervous. But hopefully it will be fine. Also, it is still Asian Readathon. If you don't know, it is a readathon dedicated to reading Asian books. So I want to read every second book for this, at least being Asian, because I don't think I can make it everyone, because I need to read some books on my TBR that are not Asian, as well as just see what I pick up. I don't actually know how many books this will be. I haven't calculated and done any work. Few ground rules before we get into it is that if I don't make 1,500 in one of these 7 days, I am allowed to catch up the next day. Like, as long as I read. Oh my god, I have forgotten how many pages it is, like, overall. Obviously, last time it was 7,000. Is it 10,500? Is that what we ended up with? 10,500! I did know it. As long as we end up with 10,500 pages by the end of this vlog, we are good. I can be behind for several days. We shall see how it goes. And obviously, I'm still going to read some, like, manga and graphic novels, etc., depending on when they show up on my list, which, granted, is going to be very soon, because every time I have read 3 full-length books, I always read a manga or a graphic novel or whatever is on my list. So, like, obviously everything counts, etc., etc. We're not going to fight anyone. I guess we're going to start with the first pages, because I need to start reading. It's already 10:02, so we should start. The first pages I need to read is for my buddy reads, which have been going in May. So I'm reading Sword of Kaigen as a buddy read in my Patreon. We're reading 1 chapter a day. So I'm still obviously going to read that, and then it's a little boost of pages in the ocean of other pages I need to read. So we are on chapter 22 because it is the 22nd of May, and I'm going to read this chapter. Oh my god, it's like 4 pages. Either way, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read 1 chapter in City of Stairs, which I'm about to reading with my friend Johanna. I'm reading 1 chapter a day in this as well. Last night, the last chapter was like 35 pages or something. I don't know, I haven't actually checked. So after I read these 2, I will tell you how many pages is this, and then we're going to move on to other things. But I thought that reading these first would be smart or something. Now I'm going to move over to my reading chair, because that's where I'm going to live for the next week. And let's go, let's do this. Hello. Sorry for the bad light, because life is just how it is, you know? This is where it is nice to have you. I read my pages in City of Place and Sword of Kaigen. Sword of Kaigen, do you need me to hold the books? You know what I'm reading. Was 6 pages chapter, and the one in City of Blades was 30. So I have now read 36 pages out of 1,500. It says we have 1,464 pages left to read. I don't think it actually made a dent in everything. Before I started this vlog, I did read actually 3 books, like last night I finished the latest book, so then I could read a manga to follow my own system, or a graphic novel, whatever you want to call it. And the next one on my list, give me a second, is Killing Stalking Volume 4. And this cover, I'm sorry, this is a terrible, terrible story. Actually, it follows a serial killer, Alan Stalker, that I wouldn't even say that they're in love, but they are in some sort of relationship. And it's very effed up and very terrible, and actually gruesome, but it's very entertaining and addicting, and you do really want to see where the story will go. This is 304 pages. So then we're getting a boost, I would say. And we're not even like where I needed to be to complete the 1000 pages one. Like we still have more than 1000 pages left after that. But it's fine. What I'm going to do is go and read this now. I need to stop talking to you. And see you soon. So apparently the page count on Goodreads was wrong. It was not 303 pages or whatever I said earlier. It was 391 because it literally had the page count. Usually I just follow what says on Goodreads. Even though the last part was like a nightmare bonus thing, it was still pages I read and there was not a lot of text there. This was a great booster. I almost feel like I cheated, but it's not a cheat. Everything counts. So like literally ended on 391, which means that we are already at 427 pages, which means that we have like 1073 left. Not bad, not bad. Love a little booster. So what I'm going to read now is for my Asian reader from TBR. I need to complete my main TBR in this vlog, you know. So let's go. And that is To Gaze Upon the Wicked Gods by Molly X Chang. I know that this has gotten a lot of talk about lately for being a colonizer romance. I haven't read it yet, so I wouldn't know. But even if it is, maybe it has more nuance and a way to dealing with that generational trauma, then I feel like people have been talking about it. But I don't know yet because I haven't read it. I just feel like a lot of people just jumped on something that they didn't know about, but that is just my impression. We shall see how I feel. I have a beautiful, stunning Illuminated edition. And this one is, you know, count acknowledgements. It is 346 pages. So it's not even a long book. But I shall read the whole thing today and I will let you know what I think. Good luck to me. So I finished To Gaze Upon the Wicked Gods. Didn't take me that long. There's a bird being very noisy outside. And again, I know a lot of people criticize it for being a colonizer romance. I can definitely see why. But I also think it's really weird to like cancel this book and sending death threats to the author. Like people need to chill down, I think. I definitely feel like a lot of criticism come off one person saying this and a lot of people just jumping on that train. And I do think that is very extreme because I don't think that this book was any different from like the 100 and other billion books where it's enemies to lovers and where like they are in an alliance and start having feelings for each other, as in other fantasy book where like a main character, for example, is in the class or like the part of group in society that is being suppressed, and then they have the thing with a prince or something. Honestly, isn't there like a billion other fantasy books like this where this is a thing, and then the views are challenged? Either our main character usually changed the views from like that other person that comes from the bad side, or our main character realizes that it can't be together because of the differences. So where does this stand as a difference to all those other books? I don't understand. I also think that it should be allowed for this author to explore the history of her family and look into their trauma and deal with that in a way, generational trauma and all that. I feel like that should be allowed. And I did think that our main character was annoyingly stupid a bit. I was just like, are you stupid? Can you not see what you're doing? But the book is about her realizing this, and I haven't even said what it's about, but it's basically about our main character who is living in this country, and then these people are coming in that is from Rome, so like Roman inspired kind of conquerors, and that she has the ability to drag out people's qui or their energy, which means that she can basically kill people without touching them or being close to them. One of the two sons of like the Roman emperor wants to have her under him because he wants her to kill people for him basically, and she's doing this in order to protect her family because basically they are in danger. I don't blame her for doing that at all. She's just trying to survive and trying to protect her family, which is fair. And then like she starts to have feelings for him, but then also realizes that he's not the god that she thinks he is, which is fine, you know? So honestly, like the whole romance thing, I did ship them, but that was literally because I don't think that this book was written particularly well, which sounds very harsh, but it was just very, very simple, straightforward writing. Their like world building especially was very info-dumping in the beginning. I felt that some of the sentences was like, I had to really concentrate, like, what are you saying right now? What are you trying to explain right now? And I felt like it just was a lot at once, and I just didn't care for the story. I wanted to find an example of like how we explain things in this book, because I thought that some of the explanations I was like, what is going on right now in a way. And just like the dialogue was very like stated, it didn't flow as well. And like the characters, because our main character has like childhood best friends. And one of them is in the army for like the empire. It's like a traitor to her people. And the other one is also working for one of the princess, a traitor to her people. And both of them, she had like different relationships when she was young. And then we meet them, and then she has to explain like everything of who they are. And she really cares for them still, even though they were traitors or whatever. And I was just like, I didn't really feel why she cared for them, because she just met them. And then we were supposed to care for them because she did, but I honestly like didn't feel anything. And like, she cares for her family, she's trying to protect them. I didn't make me feel anything, the book itself, because I don't think it was written particularly well. I don't think the language made me invested enough in the story. It's very like simple, and it flows because it's easy. It's very, it made me, it took me 1.5 hours to read this. So like, in that regard, it's good for my challenge, but I don't think the book was fantastic, literally, because I don't think it was nuanced enough to explore the themes it wanted to explore here. We have like an author's note in the beginning and how she writes about like what her grandfather went through, and it feels like it should be very emotional to go through all of like the trauma he did, not like in detail, but like inspired by his stories. That's what she said. And I do think that the book itself has good ideas, and I like the like hints of like the science stuff in the world, because like the Roman Empire or whatever have like science stuff, while our main character and her people have magic. So I did like the balance of those two, but I also feel like it wasn't present enough to make and carry the story. I don't think the plot was interesting. She's just going around questioning if she should kill people or not. And I don't think the book itself was that like good, because I was just like, I felt like there was so much more to explore, so much more nuance to explore between these groups of people, of her inner like realizations. And then I was sitting left with like, what? I don't really get it. But I get the whole book is like her realizing different things. But I felt like she already had realized all these things that was bad. And then she just suddenly decided to be with this prince. And then she realizes that he was bad. And I was like, well, obviously. But okay. Maybe it's obvious for us as the reader. So I feel like it had many good themes that I wish could have been explored more. I wish that it had just been honestly written better for the story that it wants to be. But now it just feels like a debut, which maybe sounds very negative, but it feels like it could have been written with much more nuance and like better, honestly. So I don't think it was terrible, but I don't think it was amazing either. I think it was fine. It's a pretty cover, but I don't really get like the whole let's murder the author part, honestly. It was just an average, okay fantasy. And again, fantasy, you know, and I feel like it should be allowed to write about what this is written about without being murdered. That's what I'm trying to say. I would recommend Poppy War instead of this, but I feel like that is a rude comparison since Poppy War is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm trying to not review for too long because like the vlog is going to be so long, but then I can't help it because I have so many thoughts about the books. So now it's time for a white book because I have so many white books I need to read as well as all my Asian books because life. So the next one I'm reading is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which I feel is so random, but it's very fitting because it's really nice weather and look at how summery it is. This is the Buzzword book for the month because I only had this one book on my whole TBR with every in the title. And this is actually quite thick, so we love to see that because switching books is honestly a hassle because I love this challenge. It's more like then you actually pick up really thick books because I want to read one book for as long as possible to not switch worlds instead of like avoiding all the thick books because usually you want to read as many books as possible. Now we're just for the pages. This is a YA contemporary romance thingy. I think she washes dogs. 505 pages long, which is actually perfect. Let's see. Then we will be at 1278. When I finish this, I will only need to read 222 pages more. That is incredible. This has gone much better than I thought, but it's because I read Killing Stalking. So, yada yada. But either way, I'm gonna go and read and just stop talking to you. See you soon. Okay, quick note. Apparently it was 517 pages because like the part that looks like the acknowledgements was not the acknowledgements. And I was very confused because I was gonna add it in my app. It's 517, which is even better. Only 210 pages after that. Hello. So after a couple of hours, I actually spent like 2 hours and 56 minutes on this. I finished Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, which basically follows, I literally have just read this book and I can't remember the main character's name, Andy, who loses this internship thing she was gonna have, and then watches Dogs for the Summer and meets this boy that writes fantasy novels, and they get a thing. She has a friend group where things are happening as well, and her dad has been very distant, being a congressman or whatever, because her mom died 5 years ago, and she's been struggling a lot, and then their relationship becomes better, and then she falls in love, blah, 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 and opens up her closed offness inside of her. And it was fine. It's like, brings back memories to a time where YA contemporary was it. Like, that was what you were reading. It was like the most popular genre, which is like now, I guess, fantasy romance books with spice. And it just brings back a whole other time of booktube book popularity. It is really like, it's not a bad book, but why was it 500 pages? Like, for what reason did it need to be 500 pages long? We could have cut 200 pages down and it would have been the same book. Great for my reading challenge, but honestly, it didn't need to be that long. And it's fine. It's like reading a chick flick movie. It's like reading a new Anna Hathaway movie. You know where the story will go. You know the character development the characters will have. And you know it's going to be fine in the end. It still was emotional. I did care for a character. I thought that it was written well for what it is. But I didn't love it, and I don't think it's gonna go down as like a favorite book I will remember forever. But I read it, I enjoyed it, I'm giving it like a treat, like I liked it, I'm fine. Which means that since I finished that, we need to read 210 more pages today to reach 1,500. I'm also on sprints right now with Christy and Mads, which is obviously fun. So I am gonna keep reading, obviously. So now we need to read an Asian book as per my own rules. And on my TBR, I have Human Acts by Hong Kong, which I don't know anything about. I have read is it The Vegetarian? Is that a title for the book? Yes, The Vegetarian. There was a picture on it at the back. Super weird, but very enjoyable. This book is actually 224 pages. I need to read 210, so the last 14 pages will then be read tomorrow to just keep the challenge or whatever going. So yeah, I can't believe that I'm only on the last 200 pages already. I feel like it went so fast. Also made dinner, also went to shop food at a point. How fun, how fun. I finished my last few pages in Human Acts. I don't know why I'm using this phone as a bookmark. I just sorted through my bookmarks. If you ever wondered, I only use the ACMB bookmarks because they are my favorite. And I will finish it tomorrow. Now I read 1,500 pages! I finished like before 11, so granted it did take me all day, but also as I said, I did have to make dinner and clean, and I did also go to the store, etc. And also we are in sprints, so we have like breaks for talking. So I feel like I could go through it even faster if I try harder even more. I don't really know what to say about this book. I feel like the book is not really for me. I feel like it's much smarter than me. It's very like philosophical and a bit like written some part like in second person. I'm a bit confused to what is going on. I know it's about like a uprising of these students. There's a lot of dead bodies. I know it's supposedly like very sad and emotional, but it's just a lot of text and I don't really know what's going on. So I don't think that this book particularly is for me. The Vegetarian was also really, really weird, but there I like understood parts and really, really had like understandable but really, really weird time. And this one I feel like was just completely different and not at all like something that I personally enjoy that much. Maybe if I read it again later at the time in my life, it could be more healing for me. But right now, I'm like, what have I just read? I have no idea. But alas, I shall finish it tomorrow morning. So I shall read this tomorrow morning. Sorry, there's a lot of books. And then I will read my pages in City Upstairs and sort of Kage, which is obviously altogether, they're probably not that much, maybe like 50 pages or something tomorrow morning. And then after that, I will update you guys so that we don't have like a 1,400 billion clips in this vlog. But yeah, first day achieved. Everything's going good. So see you tomorrow. Hello. It is the beginning of day 2. I just read some pages, what I said I was going to read yesterday. I read my buddy read pages in sort of Kaigen, which was 1 chapter, and it was 20 pages. And then I read my buddy read pages in City of Blades, which were 34 pages, which was also 1 chapter. That was a 1 long ass chapter. That's what I got to say about that. And then I read Human Acts Done, which was 14 whole pages. And I still don't really get this book. I think it's too smart for me, honestly. But I read it done. and maybe I will visit it back in a few years, or maybe on holiday to realize this was not for me, even though I love the vegetarian. If you've been keeping count, then you know I now read 3 full-length books. I read The Gaze Upon the Wicked Gods, The Unexpected Everything, and Human Acts, which means that I can now read a manga. Love a little manga boost every day, honestly. And the next manga on my list is Love is a War, Volume 4 by Akakasaka. This one just follows the vice president and the president of the student council. They all love each other but don't want to admit it. And then they set up all these different like scenarios so the other person would admit to liking the other. And they are super cute and adorable and I love them a lot. I'm very, very excited to continue. I think that this will be like either 200 or 198 pages or something. I will let you know when I finished it. If anyone was curious, by the way, I did check my read time for yesterday because I realized in the last vlog I did like this. I set a read time for like the first day and then never set it again. But I thought that I would try to mention it after every day, at least, if I remember. So yesterday, I did read 6 hours and 5 minutes. That's how long it took me to read 1,500 pages. Granted, 290 of those was Killing Stalking 4, so it took me a much shorter time. But still, I like a little boost. I think I would have made it even if I hadn't read Killing Stalking, but why make it hard when you can make it easier? Okay, I'm gonna read Love is War and then start another book, so I will let you know what happens soon. At this point, I feel like I just need to read longer books because going from one book to another takes more time than anything else. So I finished Love is War and it was great. I love the story. I love how these people are super, super stupid and are super, super in love. It is very, very enjoyable. Very, very fun. I wonder, is it better if my shoes are in the way? That is a bit better because it's like you don't have like the glare of the window behind me. Yeah, bookshelf instead. It works. Finished. Great. Loved it. So that was a little booster and we are now at 284 pages. Not even that much. But my next read is The Ghost Talkers, or just Ghost Talkers apparently, by Mary Robinette Covell. I had this for years because I think Brandon Sanderson recommended it once on Goodreads or something. We talked about it in a stream. I don't even know. And then I wanted to read it because of that. So I bought it and then I never read it. And then it is Erica's Gun Machine pick for my Patreon. So it got picked out this month. So I was like, hey, that is my white book now after the Asian book. And I'm gonna read it. I think it's about like people in battle. They talk to ghosts and then like the ghosts give information of what's happening in the battlefield. I don't know. It might become complicated. I won't understand anything, but we shall see. So now I just want to see. It is only 299 pages, which granted not exactly what we want in life, but then we only have now 117 after that left. So yay. Okay, I'm gonna go and read this. I procrastinated for about 10 minutes before starting this. And I already feel those 10 minutes deep inside of myself, so I should go. And after about 1.5 hours, and a little power nap for 10 minutes because I started to fall asleep. And I need to take a time 1 to 10 minutes to sleep, and it helps a lot. And then I didn't fall asleep again at all. I finished Ghost Talkers, and it's not like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It's another 3-star read, and now I feel like every book I read for this vlog is a 3-star read, except the manga. But granted, we only have read 4 books, so it's not even that many. This one follows a young woman. I know I just read a book, but Ginger, and she is a ginger actually. She is a medium, so they have this role in under the First World War, where when people die in like the trenches and the graves and stuff, holes in the ground where they keep the lines, etc. on the front lines, they get sent basically where like there's something. I guess their spirits in a way, and they report how they died. And this is a way to give the soldiers an opportunity to give last messages to the loved ones, as well as giving insight to like how they died and give information about positions, etc. from the other side of the war. We just follow her, and then she's engaged with this dude that dies. He was murdered. Now they go out in this murder investigation, and there's like spirits and stuff. Medium stuff. There's a murder investigation under the First World War. And granted, I don't love war stories in general. I think I even less like a murder investigation under the First World War. I can't say World War. I'm struggling with the W's. I like the how can you even call it a magic system? I like there's some spirits. I liked all that. Like getting to know more about how that functioned. I liked that main character, but I wasn't even that engaged in the plot. I think the book was written extremely, extremely well, but the plot, the setting, Just the characters wasn't even like that interesting. I just felt like, okay, it was a decent enough book. I might have been blown away by this a few years ago, but I'm not sure. It's not, I don't think it's anything wrong with the book. I just think that it's not the kind of story that is for me. It has a lot of elements that I personally don't enjoy as much. But I don't think it was bad. I would recommend it if you like that kind of thing. And it was good for what it was. And now I'm very unsure if I should keep it because I'm trying to get rid of some books. I think, again, solid for what it was. It was fine. I liked it. 3 stars. I don't know. I shouldn't review for too long because vlog length. I have like piles of books behind me that I would really like to get to in this live. But before we do that, we need to read more on my May TBR. And actually, the rest of my TBR, I had plans to listen to audiobook. I think I have, I was gonna check. I have 5 books left on my TBR, but I know I won't make 5 more audiobooks this month because after when this vlog is over, we are on the 29th. There's 2 days left of the month, and I can't listen to 5 audiobooks in 2 days, I think, because, well, I have work. Actually, it's 3 days left of the month. Either way, I won't be able to do it. So I need to read some of the books I plan to listen to audiobook here, which is a bit sad. I was very ready to have that story told to me in a different way because I like to choose out my audiobooks in a different way, and then I like feeling the vibes that this is a great audiobook. But since I needed to do exams and I barely worked this month, so then I lost all my audiobook time because that's what I audiobook. We need to read it physically here. So I have the book Eaters by Sunji Dean. This is actually a reread that was picked up for Something Pandas. And I would really love to listen to the audiobook for this because I actually, for some reason, bought the audiobook because I think I partly listened to the audiobook when I read it first time for Facing Gaze. And then the rest physical. I would love to just listen to the whole thing, especially like since I have it. And I don't doubt I would reread it one more time at least. Anytime, but no time is my life right now, and it's under 300 pages once again. It is 295. The font is quite small though, so I am excited to reread this. This follows a young mother who is a book eater, and when she eats books, it affects her personality in a way. So she was grown up in this like Handmaid's Tale like society where they are forced to eat certain books so they will form personalities. And as she is a person with a uterus, she needs to make children, and these are really weird. Like, it's weird that people are born with uteruses, which is another thing. And she just basically gets married into different rich families to get children from them, and then is supposed to like move on like a breeding mare. And then she also gets a son, and this happens sometimes where instead of like children eating books, they eat human instead. And then we are her in the future where she escaped from this, and we get flashback to like how she ended up there and world built everything. And it is a very well written book, I think, where like we follow a mother, which I feel like is not that usually in a fantasy. The concept of like eating books, etc., is really cool. And we wanted to reread it since I read it. And then I got the prompt from a TBR game to reread a book I read for book club. So I thought, yes. And then I was again planning to audio. The audio is not even that long, but I know I won't have time. So I'm gonna read that now. And then you should see me soon. 100 years later, I finally finished the book Eaters. I'm saying finally because it is almost 21:30 or 9:30, however you want to say. I was out for 3 hours to shop something in the store and to get a new bookshelf that I bought used, and had to go and pick it up, and then we ate dinner out, which granted altogether like didn't take that long itself, but like I had to drive there, which was like almost half an hour each way. And I took a lot of time out of my reading. I knew that I was going to do this today. I just like, it will be fine. And now I have 622 pages left to read. And it's 21:30. I know I will make it, but it will be a bit late. And I won't get to watch a movie today, which I wanted to. But it's fine. So, okay, Book Eaters, thoughts, quick, is that it was a reread. I enjoyed it much more upon reread because you know what's coming. I really, really enjoy like the whole thought of like book eaters and mind eaters. And just the whole like world building is incredible. I think it's a great story about a flawed character that is mother living in this terrible world. And overall, I really, really enjoyed. I even considered giving a 5-star at a point, but I don't think it is a 5-star read. I feel like a part of me is like, fine, it is a standalone, and I think it's great as a standalone. Another part of me is like, if it was a sequel, if that would bring even more to the forefront that this one does, I feel like I could give it 5 stars. I'm not sure. I'm weird about my 5 stars. Maybe I shouldn't be. But honestly, much more thoroughly enjoyable this time. Like, first time I think I gave it 3.5. Now I'm giving it a strong 4. I just very much enjoyed it. And it was good reread. The font was small though. Like, I spent 2.5 hours reading this compared to like the other 300 books pages I read, where I spent 1.5 hours reading them. So yeah, I'm also very happy that I took myself out for like 3 hours. Those 3 hours I would have almost read those 600 pages. But I had a really good time, so it's fine. So my next read is then a white book, as I like to call it, and I decided to read another Game of Thrones book. The first vlog I did like this, I did 1,000 pages, and my first read was the third Game of Thrones book. This is the fourth one, or A Song of Ice and Fire book, if you want to be super correct. And this is the last one that I reread. Not the last one, as if there's many more. There's only one more after this, but now really, really long time ago. And I am rereading through all of them. I just haven't picked up anyone since the last time I read one because I haven't had the time. But I thought, perfect for a challenge. It's really long as well. It comes out as this edition as 776 pages. So I will read to page 622 in this. Then I have 154 more pages in this for tomorrow, which I will obviously read then. So a good chunk big book. That's what I need. So we are happy about that. And I'm gonna read it on my Kindle. I'll borrow it at the library. So I don't need to hold that brick. And I will try to be done before 2 a.m. Hopefully will be, but dang, I have a lot of pages left. So wish me good luck. And again, if I can't make it, I will make it tomorrow. Even though tomorrow I will be gone also for like 5-6 hours because I need to go to work. So I haven't had like a full day where I read. I mean, I had yesterday, but then I had sprints and I had a lot of talking bits. So do we count that? I don't know. Saturday and Sunday is the days that are full. And on Monday and Tuesday, I think. I don't know, but let's go. Oh my god. It is like 2:05 a.m. I decided to wait to finish my pages until 622 in A FAES for Crows. Do I need to get the book? You know what I'm reading. It's very late. Obviously, if I hadn't had a little adventure earlier today, I would have been done at least like 2 hours ago, I think. But it's fine. It's fine. I've been awake until like 3 a.m. every day anyway. But I'm very tired now. I want to go to bed. I think the book is fun, obviously, because I love A Song of Ice and Fire. But I also think that, like, compared to book 3, which was insanely good, this is just like a lot of the main characters are not there in the fourth book. If you didn't know, like Daenerys and Tyrion is not there, and Jon, like the three like biggest mains are not there, which is really weird so far. Even though like they are rereads, but I haven't read them in English before, so there's that. First and third are my faves, and the fourth I'm just feeling like I love it because I love the world and the characters and everything. Not amazing, you know. I don't know if I will update you at once tomorrow morning. It depends when I decide to read. If I finish Game of Thrones, I might do that at work actually and read some other stuff before going to work, since I am reading it on my Kindle. And then I can just bring my Kindle. I'll let you know in the morning what I decide. My eyes are like twitching. So I should go to bed. 1,500 pages exactly reached two first days. We are on track. Oh, and I'm going to tell you how much time I read today because it's definitely more than yesterday because I've been sitting here for so long. Oh my god, it's so much more. So as I said yesterday, if you forgot, 6 hours, 5 minutes. Today I have had 9 hours and 8 minutes. So that's like 2 hour difference. So it's not weird I've been sitting here forever. It's because Game of Thrones took me ages, honestly. And also Book Eaters took me ages. So there's that. 9 hours of reading. That's a long time. Dang. It's no weird I feel foggy. But either way, I have also actually done other stuff today as well as doing this. I think that is more impressive. But yeah, okay. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Hello everyone. It is day 3 of the challenge. The weather is grey and sad and I could not be more pleased. Brush my hair. I don't know what's going on. I really need to fix this. But either way, I have decided to read a omnibus manga since I'm going to work, so I need a booster. But this will also take me a little while because I do feel like I spoil the vlog while reading it, so that like takes a while since I stop between every chapter to update it. While like reading time is probably like 1.5 hours maybe. So this is One Piece omnibus 16. Am I completely incorrect? about this. But it is at least 46, 47, and 48 in One Piece, and I cannot wait. I am very excited and simultaneously very nervous. It is 16. I was correct. This one is actually 640 pages. That is a huge booster, and that's exactly what I need since I'm going to work. Then later I will finish Game of Thrones, read my buddy read pages, etc. We see how long time this take me before work, and I might get to my buddy read pages before then. Then I read Game of Thrones. Then I can read another manga, because then I read 3 full-length novels. This one doesn't count in those. Then we can see what other book I need to read later today. So I'm just gonna go and start this now, and I will see you in a couple of hours. Yay. And after actually quite a little while, it's almost 2 p.m. I finished One Piece Omnibus Volume 16, but it was a great time. I obviously filmed a whole vlog. My camera's about to die too, so I need to move it to charge it. And I am now gonna go and read my battery pages in Sword of Kaigen and City of Stairs. City of Blades. City of Stairs is the first one. And I will let you know how many pages that is. I think I should be able to read that before I need to leave for work. Ew. But money, yay. To buy books. Okay, 640 pages has now been read, which is honestly the booster I need today because one of the chapters was really long. Why are you so close to my face? I don't know. But I did finish them. So it was 10 chapters in Sword of Kaigen and like 56 in City of Blades. And now I have a bit bad time before I need to leave for work. So at work, I will read the last 154 pages in A Feast for Crows. And then I shall read, I think it is Taliban Hanako-kun Volume 7. And then I need to probably read something else. I don't know if I have time for more at work, but I think my next Asian to read is Beautiful Country by Xianjuli Wang. So I would just bring this as well in case. This is like around less than 300 pages. Definitely wanted to audiobook this one as well, but no time after this challenge because I do think the author reads the audiobook as well. So I would just read it like this, and it is on my Asian Readathon May TBR. So I think that is it of what I want to say now. I really need to go, so see you later when I come home from work of what actually happened there. Oh my god, it is so many hours later. It's almost 11 p.m. in the evening. I did not get to read a single page at work because I just had a lot to do and it was really hot and I was really stressed. But I have now finished A Feast for Crows by George R. R. Martin, which means that I have now read 860 pages today. So really good that I read that manga earlier. And now I have read 3 full-length books. So I read, oh, what did I even read? This is very confusing because I have so many things everywhere. I read Ghost Talkers, Book Eaters, and Feast for Crows. So now I can read like a manga on my list. Even though, yes, I did read One Piece, but that is outside my list. So that was just a booster. We are reading Taliban Hanako-kun Volume 7, as I said earlier, which follows this young girl that discovers the curses in her school that are like basically like paranormal spirits living there, and then Hanako-kun is connected to the toilet and they go out on these investigation adventures through the school. This is according to Goodreads 178 pages. As we learned from Killing Stalking, that might be wrong, but no, it seems to actually be very correct. So that means I am up to 1038 pages today. So I have 462 after that again, and I did show you my next read. So I think it would be that, but I will still let you know. So yeah, I obviously thought that I would finish Game of Thrones, or a bit of it at work, but since I didn't, I feel behind, but I think it will be fine. I just ended that clip and realized I didn't say a single thought about this. I liked it, but I just kind of think that all the most interesting point of views in this is not there. And I obviously think it's still fun, but I feel like it's a lot of build up to the next book. And then I feel like the next book that I actually haven't read before, like the 5th book I haven't read before, it's probably just a build up to the book that we will never get. But I liked it. I didn't love it. I gave it 4. I think that's the lowest rating for any of them. I feel like I should give book 2 4 as well. But like I still love the world and characters, etc. But I don't really have that much more to say than that. Okay, now I'm actually going to read. And I have time to talk to you. I need to read, okay? With the light behind me and everything. Great work, son. My hair looks crazy. I finished this. It was a really quick read. And I liked it, but I will admit also I'm very confused of what's going on right now. It's very chaotic and vibes, and there is doubles of some of the characters, and I'm like, am I supposed to understand? But read it, yay, pages. I feel like there's a lot of more secrets in the world that we don't know about yet, and I'm excited to see where that will go. Now I am, as I said, will read Beautiful Country, and I do feel like this is a bad choice to read at 11 p.m. when I'm super tired. I feel like it's gonna take me ages. But I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. 270 pages. I'm going to put it in here and see. Ooh, okay, so after this we only have 192 left. And hopefully it will take me 1.5 hours. Because then I'm not dead. Still 192 left afterwards is a lot. I mean, it is like one manga volume, but I'm not going to read a manga then. So I'll let you know what happens next. As you know. And this, do I need to say the plot? It follows Qian, I don't know how to say her name, and she immigrates to America when she is a kid, and then we find out like how that is basically. And I heard really good things. So yeah, soon 1 a.m. and I did finish Beautiful Country. I did enjoy it. I think it was a really written book. It is about her family coming from China to America and how they lived for a few years as undocumented, I struggle with that word, immigrants, and how hard that is to grow up like that, and how it was basically. I knew that I was gonna like it. I knew it was probably gonna be written well. I thought it was a good story. I think books like this is very important to read. It brings a lot of reflections upon a lot of things and the world we live in general. Yeah, a solid read. I giving it a strong 4 out of 5 stars. I do think I would have been even more emotional attached to it if I listened to the audiobook, but life didn't go always as you want to, you know. So for tonight, I need to read 192 more pages, and I decided that my next read is Holding Dark by Christopher Rucchio. Yes, and this is the second book in the Sun Eater series, which is a space opera series that has been very hyped lately. And I read the first book for my first episode of To Buy or Buy, and I couldn't decide if I should buy it or not. I was on waitlist for the second one at the library, and I thought that I should read the library books that are expiring soon for this vlog, because I don't in theory have time after either, because life. So I thought, okay, let's read it now. According to the Kindle, it is 656 pages, and I'm following that page count because it seems to be correct, because like on like Goodreads etc. it says 676, but like a lot of like dramatis personalia and stuff is in the end. So like that would obviously be counted on like the page count for the book, but obviously it's not something that I will read. So 656 seems correct. I've been struggling lately with Kindle pages. What is actually the pages, etc. when they don't have physical. So 656 it is. So 192 today, 464 tomorrow. Then obviously more after that or something. But yeah, I'm gonna read those pages now and then let you know when I manage that and the time I spent reading today, so that I can go to bed. I think it would take me a little while because I read the first one very slow, but hopefully no more than an hour because I'm tired. And with that, I finished day 3. I'm very tired as well. I'm kind of hungry, but it's soon 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. 2 a.m. So I'm like, probably should not eat anything. Managed exactly 1,500 pages. The amount spent reading today was 5 hours and 28 minutes. So I think, yeah, the least so far. Obviously, because I read the One Piece thing. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to start with this book and then the Better Read pages probably before that, because I like to read those first. And then we shall see what happens after that. I also have a Patreon readathon tomorrow. The theme is celebration, because I had birthday on Monday. So we're celebrating me for a whole readathon. So basically, the prompts are to read things that make you happy, or you're celebrating, or whatever. Or it could also be a book that reminds you of me. For example, it's purple or something. And that last Saturday and Sunday. But I'm just going to read whatever, because like you can kind of read whatever you want, because that's kind of what you do in a celebration. You're supposed to do what you want. So that is tomorrow and Sunday. That will be in sprints all day on Patreon. Not that that matters maybe that much to you, since it will be after this vlog is up, but I might change a bit around on what I've been going in this pattern for the readathon, but we shall see when that happens. Either way, I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow. Next morning, just finished the body read pages. So it was only 6 pages. Was it 6 or 8? Maybe I'm incorrect. 8 pages in Sword of Cayenne. Not the best booster, but a bit. And then it was all of 40 pages in City of Blades. And yesterday was 56, so that was really helpful. But I read it, we're good. And now I'm going to continue with Holding Dark. Is that what it's called? Yes. Which is going to take me a few hours. And it's 464 pages left in that, as I said yesterday. The sun is shining. Life is semi-good. And I'm going live soon to Sprint. I could have probably started earlier, but I didn't know how long I was going to sleep. So, just going to read. See you later. It is starting to get super hot, even though I thought it was not going to be as hot today, and I am not okay with this. So I finished Holding Dark. Holding Dark, yes. And it was fine. I feel like maybe I've seen everyone really love this, and I feel fine about it. I think it's a lot of words to say what the story wants to say. I think it's cool, but I also am like, I don't know. I guess I'm not as into it as everyone else seems to be. I giving this like a 3.5. I just feel like it just takes a really long time for things to happen. It's very slow. And I missed a bit of like the hints and like I guess, the tone of it was written in the first one. I feel like this was very different. I don't know why. Maybe the tone was the same, but I just felt like the plot wasn't as interesting. But while at the same time, the first one we just had like a build up and like childhood and like that took ages. But I was kind of more into that almost than this, but it was still really cool concepts in this, and it's a really cool series. We basically follow this dude that is from like this ruling family for the million planets that is here, and then he escapes from them because they didn't want him to be heir after all, and then we basically just see him grow into this role of like, I was gonna say almost the Sun Eater, where we get like hints for like the future that is not prophesied for him, but like the future that has already happened for him. And he's just like telling the story kind of in the future. So we get like hints to like this great kind of person he will become. A bit like Name of the Wind, just like it's sci-fi, but reminds me of a fantasy just in space. And it was, as I said, it is enjoyable, it's cool. I think it is well written. I just like didn't love it because I was just like, I don't know, I felt like there's just a lot of words, and I guess some people would find it very compelling and very like, I'm not saying it's not well written, but very, they're like maybe a wordy thing. I don't know how to describe it. But for me, I was just like, can we just get on with stuff? So maybe it's me that feeling a bit impatient. I don't know. But like, I'm not loving it. I thought it would be a favorite, but I'm feeling fine, and I do want to continue to see where it goes. I do, as I said, think the concept, etc. is very cool. Maybe if I reread in a few years, I would absolutely love it. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling now. And since it is a readathon, I had kind of wanted to read a manga series as I'd done in the last couple of readathons for Patreon. So the manga series I want to read was Chainsaw Man, or like catch up to it at least. Which means that I want to, at least for today and tomorrow, read a manga between every book instead of every third, because that's what I do when I have a readathon. Also makes this challenge a bit easier for these 2 days. So since we finished Holding Dark, I can read Chainsaw Man Volume 9, which is 192 pages, I think I checked it was. Which means that we, after that, only have 678. Woo! So I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read World's End, which was another book that was on my TBR that I want to do as an audiobook, but I know it's not going to happen. But if I read this, I only have 2 audiobooks left that I have to read soon, which I think will be fine. And this is 381 pages. So, yeah, I guess I will check back with you after reading both of these or something. I haven't decided. Chainsaw Man follows a dude that has a chainsaw head and arms that he activates, and he's kind of half demon, or almost fully demon, I guess now. And then he works for this agency that finds demons, etc. And World's End is the 3rd book in 1,000 Words from Magic, which mixes many different fairy tales and like Alice in Wonderland, for example, classics, etc. in a story. And we have these people fighting for Avalon, which is from Arthurian legends, if you didn't know, and fighting back to get their kingdom back from the Ice Queen. And then we have many cool different characters in this front gang, very diverse, cool setup, woven in with Filipino legends as well. And then we just have them all having their different problems and like different romances and trying to basically fight for this kingdom. It's a good fun time, and I feel like it's gonna be faster to actually read it than listen to the audiobook, as I've done now for 1 and 2. And I finished 2 last night, so that I now can read this physically. After these, I will update you, because I feel like I don't really need to update you after reading Chainsaw Man, I think. Or something. I don't know. See you soon. Okay, we went to the store, got some goods. And then, of course, we forgot what we actually needed. Does anyone ever do that as well? And I'm too bothered to actually go back. But I finished Chainsaw Man Volume 9. I said I didn't know if I was going to update, but I thought, why not? It was incredible. Plot twists were twisting in this. I don't know if I understand that much of the last volume or the one before that. I don't know. I just absolutely love these characters. It's so chaotic and weird, and nothing makes sense, and everyone is totally unhinged, and I absolutely love just the way the story is told, and just it's just so weird, and it's just not trying to like follow a certain norm or anything, and I really like it. I'm really, really enjoying this series, even though I know a lot of people like don't love it as much, but I really, really love it. Okay, so now I'm gonna read The World's End, as I said. So then I am now at something pages. I probably have it on the screen somewhere. World's End time. Last one in the series, which is good. See you soon. I got a bit scammed. It was not 381 pages because there's like a expert for the next book that was counted in the pages in the end, and I didn't realize that was not actually this book. So it's only 372. So now I need to change my thing. Hate it when that happens. You either get scammed for too little or too much, you know. And but I finished the book, and it was good. I don't think this series itself is amazing. It's just kind of an entertainment, a mix and match of a lot of different things. And I think it knows what it's doing. It is chill. It is entertaining. I like the characters. I actually think that it could be very fun, like as a like movie or like limited series or something. Because like honestly, seeing all of this and seeing the mix of all things mixed in, I feel like would have been incredibly fun. And I think it's just a fun, chill series. I don't think it, as I said, is incredible, but I don't think it's terrible either. And I'm giving this as well 3 out of 5 stars. I think the ending was very sweet as well. And I do think seeing all the different characters having different strength and how they all differ and work together, it's a good time. I don't really have much more to say. I think that as a final in the series, it goes where you expect it will go, with some like fun battles, etc. And not the worst and not the best thing I ever read. I read it, I finished it, and it's going over in the pile, and it looks like it's going to fall off the pile as well. And that means that I can obviously read another Chainsaw Man, because we are still in the readathon, obviously. I was just going to check how many pages it says it is on Goodreads. 192, that's what I expected. So if I add that here, that means I only had 258 after this, which kind of is incredible. That's fun. So the last one ended insanely, so I'm so excited to read this, and I will let you know very soon how it goes. I have absolutely no clue what's going on. The story in Chainsaw Man just turntables completely. It's not the same story anymore, and I don't understand anything. Like, I understand what's happening, but I don't understand how this is happening. I don't, like, how am I supposed to react to this? I would never expect it to go this way. Like, never, ever. And I know, like, that Tsuki Fujimoto likes this because it kind of happened the same, not like the same plot, but like it turned the story completely in Fire Punch. And like Goodbye Eri and Look Back are also a bit like super weird where it goes to a certain story and then like turns the table completely. Seems to be the pattern from the author. I think it's just, I don't understand. I feel like I love it because it's just so chaotic. But what do I say? It took me 11 minutes to read that because there was so many panels without any text. Really knocking out of this park for this challenge here. Either way, I need to read another book before I can like read more of Chainsaw Man because I have many more volumes. I'm decided to read Oski Spiral Barlanda Junne, which is a Norwegian book that I borrowed at the library. And the reason I read this is because it's actually expiring, I think, has it already expired tomorrow or something? And I can't renew it because I had it for so long. So now I just need to read it. And I thought I wasn't planning to read it for this video because I am making a library vlog, but I would just add clips. I would just film 2 clips. It's fine. So that I actually read it before it expires. It is very short though. So good, because then I can soon read Chainsaw Man, but bad because I don't think it completes the pages for today. It's 217 pages. Which means I need to read still 41 pages after that. So either I will start a new book and read only 41 pages, or I might read a whole Chainsaw Man and just go above the pages I need today. Just because. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It would just be more pages altogether for the vlog. So I might do that. But I don't know. I don't know what this is about. It won the listener's prize for last year. And then I got it recommended, and then I was planning to read it for my Norwegian vlog, but then I apparently had other books with that vlog, and that one is not even out yet. And then I have this thing where if I borrow something, I am going to read it. So I'm going to do that now. It's very short. I don't know if I will like it. I'll let you know. I don't know anything about the plots. So let's read this very short book. Wait in there for a long while, but I did finish Oski Spiral. I didn't really understand it. I've read reviews and everyone was like, oh my god, I loved it, best book ever. But then I found one review that was like, it was too much for me that I didn't understand. And I'm the same. Everyone was just like, oh my god, it's poetic, and yeah. Not a book for me. Not in my genre. Oh. Not saying that there's anything wrong with the book necessarily, just not at all for me. But I finished it. And in theory, I needed to only read 41 more pages. But I thought, why not just read another Chainsaw Man? Because it takes me nothing, like no time to read it. Which is definitely why I'm finished so much earlier today than the other days. But which means that we are 151 pages over today. So we're reading 1,651 pages today. Love to see that. Love to see that. I'm just going to read this and then I'm done for today, which I'm granted. I would like 3 volumes of Chainsaw Man, so that's why we are doing so well. But love to see it for myself. Yay. This? It said in the end, by the way, that this arc is over. Have we used 11 volumes on an arc? Like, is that the first arc? I honestly don't even remember if we said anything in the beginning when I started. Not that like 11 volumes for one arc is even that much. Think about One Piece. But like, it could in theory had ended there, but we are getting more. Like, we are getting... How long is this series going to be? This? No way would I have believed a single person in my life if they told me how this went. I mean, I would have believed them, but like, honestly? What? Excuse me? I am not over this. I should have expected less from this author, but I didn't know anything about the author when I started this series. But smashing it. I love it even more now. But super bizarre, super weird. Absolutely not a series for everyone, but absolutely enjoyable for me. And now I'm done with day 4. I read more, as we know. Tomorrow morning, I will read my pages in Sword of Kage and City of Blades. And then, if I can find the book, I need to read an Asian book. My Asian TBR card. Empty. As you can see, I read every single book that was on my TBR. I have many good options. But here is my summer and spring TBR, as I had pointed out earlier. And I thought I could read something from here. Whoop. I thought I could actually read Dark Star Burning Ash Falls White. I've been thinking about this all day that I want to get to it. But then I thought I would get to it, but then I read a bit more than I thought in the other books. It is around 340 pages or something. But I will let you know tomorrow, obviously. This is the sequel to Silver Flame. I don't even remember. I don't remember the title. But I have the stunning Illuminate edition. So I'm excited to... Did I just damages? I did not. To read this because I did enjoy the first one. Even though like it wasn't incredible, but I still want to read this now. So I think that will be my first full-length book tomorrow. You should see me then. I can't believe I filmed the whole vlog from this angle. But it's fine. It is a new day. My voice died right before I started to film. 5. And I have read my better read pages. I read the chapter in Sword of Kage, which was 20 pages. And then the chapter in City of Blades, which was 28 pages. So now I've read 48 pages. And we have 1,452 left. Ooh! I love a little boost. So I will do, as I said yesterday, read Dark Star Burning Ash Falls White, which is a sequel to the other one I titled yesterday. And honestly, I don't even remember how to describe the plots. And do I remember the first book? Will I reread the first one? Absolutely not. I think it was like about a girl whose mother place was taken, and then she's out for revenge, and then she matches up with this dude. And then it's like demons and creatures and stuff. Great explanation. But I'm gonna read it still, because I think it's just a duology. So then we finish a series. My voice is dying. The font is huge. Love to see that. And it's 345 pages. So I will get back to you when I'm done. Yay! I just finished Dark Star Burning Ash Falls White, and I realized I didn't tell you yesterday how much time I actually spent reading. So yesterday was the day I spent the least reading, but that was probably because I read so much Chainsaw Man. So it was 5 hours and 22 minutes. Wow. So my most intense day was still, is it the second day? When I spent 9 hours reading? Why did I spend so long? I think it was because I was reading Young Forms. Either way, I finished this, and I won't say that I don't think this series is fantastic or the best series ever, but it's still enjoyable for what it is. I feel like it suffers from just not being complex enough for me in plot, etc., where I feel like, while it is fun and entertaining, I just like, when the story ended, I was like, really? After all this, this is what we get. I do think at times that the writing is really pretty, and it feels like reading kind of a fairy tale inspired by like these, I was gonna say, influenced by Chinese mythology. We have like a demon king, we have like deals with like different, I was gonna say, demons, etc., and like power levels and stuff like that. I do wish I thought that was more interesting. I wish that just it was more complex in both plot, politics, and world, and just the magic system, and just like with these demons, because I never feel the threat. I never feel like, oh my god, this is not actually going to be okay, etc. I just feel like, oh, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here, we're in love, blah, it's done. So it did for these two characters that just wanted to stop this invasion happening in their kingdom, and a lot of like chaos that existed has been eradicated, and then like it like ends kind of in a battle needs to happen, kind of. And again, I don't think it's a terrible book. I don't think that it's an amazing book either. I don't think it blew my mind away. I feel like the characters here are not complex enough for me to truly care about them. Even though I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this kind of fantasy is fun and enjoyable and has good parts. I'm not saying, again, it's terrible. I just feel like a part of me has grown out of it a bit, where I don't feel as attached to the story because I know exactly where we go, and I don't think it brings for me anything unique that makes me be like, oh my god, most amazing book ever. But at the same time, it's not terrible either. Like, I read much worse than this. It is just fun, entertaining, but I guess very predictable, and a bit like then becomes a bit boring for me. I wish more complexity from it, but still enjoyable nonetheless, and I'm giving it a 3. I feel like I've given everything in this vlog a 3. I mean, I gave A Feast for Crows 4. Oh, I gave Book Eaters 4. But you know what? Those were rereads. So I just mean like the new stuff. I just have been giving a 3, and I'm just like, okay, well, now I can read Chainsaw Man, which has been blown on my mind. So we are happy about that. So I'm going to read volume 12, which is probably 192 pages or something. And I'll get back to you what's going on soon. This made me giggle. Because I'm so terrible, but Dungy is an idiot, and I love him a lot. Okay. Good volume. Really like setting up this arc. I don't know what to say. I'm just like, what is going on? What is happening? I'm so excited to continue. I have 2 more volumes. And I just need to settle into the chaoticness of the story that I'm not going to understand. But let's roll. Also, it was 200 instead of 192. Love to see that for me. But honestly, such a good time. I feel like I'm not reviewing these properly, but like, I don't know how much I can say either way when being in volume 12. But so good. So enjoyable. Love that. It's one of my favorite things right now. So I decided that my next read is another library book called 11% by Maren Uthaug. This is translated from Danish to Norwegian. And again, it's probably for also my library vlogs. I need to update that as well. This is expiring in 2 days. So I thought, well, let's read it now then. And I can't renew it. So it is 351 pages. And also, I think it's about like the world where women are now in power and don't really need men. We only need 11% of men. So that's why it's called 11%. I thought it was a mystery where like women disappear and like only 11% are found, but it was not that. That's what I assumed. So it seems to be like more like maybe dystopia is the wrong word, but like exploring like Handmaid's Tale-esque like story. I tend to not love those because I feel like they are very not inclusive with other genders that exist. I don't really feel like any of them manage to explore that, especially when it's specialized into men and women. But I shall read it, and I was curious about it mostly because there was a boob on the cover, honestly, because that's me. But then I heard more about it, and I thought it was the women disappearing, and I was just completely wrong. And then apparently it was about this other thing, and then I already gotten it. I was like, well, let's try it out. So see you when I finish that. So I finished 11%, and I don't know if I really liked it. It had things in it that I was like, I don't know how much I would talk about it, but the way that this story is told is like, I get it's kind of satire and a commentary in a way that like, yeah, but I just like the way society was built up. It was like, and I would talk, I think, a bigger discussion in my like actually library vlog, because that's what this is for. But yeah, we have different characters. We follow different women that live in this society where like all the men are kind of put away, and they are kind of just used for if you want sex or if you want a child, drugged down. And for some reason, like all of them are poor and like have a snake, and I think that that is like a sign for like the snake that tricks them. Adam and Eve stuff, and then one of them is a priest, and you can only actually do services as a priest if you have your period. There's some period cakes here, so all of that was like, I was gonna say a bit effed up and like interesting. I don't know if it was done. I don't know, but either way, we have like, it's called like She-Man, and I don't know why. Where like there are people with the vaginas that put on fake penises to like give those services to people, and they use he/him pronouns. So that was an example of that. And then we had another character that was born with a penis. The way this story was done was that she was born with a penis, and then her mother like shamed her so hard that she was born with a penis, and like literally like removed it herself. And I didn't really get like, was she actually wanting to be a woman, or was she just forced to be a woman because of the society they live in, where like if you're a person with a penis, you need to go into these centers and we never see you again. They also have this boy that raised for a few years, and I realized that that's not a good thing, and we don't really get any resolutions or anything. Like, I didn't really see like where we were going with the story. We just had like different characters, and I don't know, it was a mixed bag. It was, some of it was very fascinating, and I'm not saying the book was badly written. I just feel like it's a very nuanced story that didn't manage to carry, I feel like, across anything, and I just feel like in general these kinds of stories just rub me in the wrong way, I guess. So I don't know, it wasn't terrible, but at the same time I feel like uncomfortable with some of like the things he had in here, and I didn't understand like, if a trans person read this, how would they feel? That's why I struggle a lot with it. Anyway, now I'm gonna eat dinner. After dinner, I am going to read Chainsaw Man Volume 13, which is only 184 pages. And then a miracle happens, which I will talk to you after I finish this. So, see you then. And I don't know what to rate 11%, honestly, like, not highly, but I don't know if it's like a 1-star book either. So, yeah. I had food. I finished Chainsaw Man Volume 13. And now it's just being hilariously stupid, and I love it so much. I just feel really, really bad for these people just living in this world, and then these devils just keep showing up and people just die. I feel really bad for them. But a really, really grand time. I have one volume left. But to complete 1,500 pages today, I need to read 372 pages. And earlier, I decided to read Heaven's Official Blessing Volume 1 by Mo Xiang Tong Xu. And I found out just now that this is 372 pages. So when I read this, I have reached 1,500 pages exactly. I don't think we ever had like where I read exactly the amount with finishing a thing. And I'm like, that's incredible. That was not planned at all. But like, there is like character names and guides in the end, but obviously I don't count that as in the book. So when you cut that out, it's 272 pages. And I've been very, very excited to read this. I think it's something to do with a demon and a prince or something. And then it's gay. And then I'm very excited. So it's on my 24. Very excited to start this now. And after that, I might read Chainsaw Man Movie 14 because the readathon is done today. And I would like to like read all of Chainsaw Man that I can because it's done today and that's what I want to read for the readathon. So I might go above to read this afterwards because it takes me like no time to read it. But I will let you know how it goes after finishing this. And then I read 1,500 today, and it's only 2 more days after this, which is insane. Let's go. Hello. Didn't get to update you all last night, but I did finish Heaven's Official Blessing, which, okay. I thought about it a little bit. I feel like I honestly would not have understood a single thing if I hadn't watched already like some drama, like Korean drama, etc. Just the way like they speak and the way it's told, the way it's very like random but at the same time not. I feel like I'm used to that kind of storytelling in a way. I just wonder how other people would feel if they weren't used to it. I haven't watched any Chinese drama, but maybe I should. It's basically about this prince that is brought back to life after 800 years for a 3rd time, and people are kind of like in the god world, like, not necessarily, I wouldn't say hate him, but he's kind of fool and everyone laughs at him and they basically thinks he is offensive. So yeah, I giving it a 3-star, like everything else in this vlog. Apparently, except Beautiful Country, because I gave that 4 on rereads. And also read Chainsaw Man Volume 14. Super, super fun. I love the story so much, and it was crazy things were happening, at least. I kind of wait for Volume 15. I think in theory, even though the release date is not until June, you can get it now. I have ordered it, so hopefully it will arrive soon. Super excited to continue, but so weird and definitely not a story for everyone. So yesterday I ended up reading 1,692 pages because I read Chainsaw Man on top. And now we're back to normal scheduling where we read 3 full lengths and then a manga. And we have 2 days left for this challenge, which is not at all a lot. Now I'm gonna read my better read pages in Studio Plates and sort of Kagen, and then I'll let you know what I will read after that. I'm a bit unsure, so I need to have a little thinky think. So I finished my pages in Studio Plates and sort of Kagen. This was 26, this was 24, so it ended up being 50 pages altogether, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. And I'm trying to not procrastinate. I'm just feeling very like, I want to do other things, but we're going to keep going because only 2 days left. I think I decided to read for my next book. I want to read Tyrant's Throne by Sebastian de Castell. This is the final book in the Grey Coast first series. I know there's more in the world now, and it is quite thick. So I want to like read this now because, well, now we have a lot of pages and I need to sit here anyway. So it is 586 pages, kind of what we need. Grey Coats were like the closest warriors to the king, and then the king died and they fell into the disgrace, and now they are affecting and going around helping to form, I was going to say, a new kingdom after a few years after the king died and getting back to reputation. And we follow like mainly 3 great quotes that are incredible. It's so fun to follow them. The second book is my favorite still, but we should see how like this final wrap of things in this world. And then I know like the next books are like, there's a different world, etc. Very excited, and I guess I'm going to start this now. See you soon. Is a lot of hours later, like a lot of hours. I have spent a long time. I haven't actually read for a long time. I just spent a long time reading because I have been bad and procrastinating, and yeah. I forgot to say how much hours I was read yesterday, by the way, so I'm going to check that now. So yesterday my read time was 5 hours and 54 minutes. Again, 9 hours is still the longest I have ever done. I just finished Tyrant's Throne, which is what I meant that I've been spending a long time on this. It was really good. Very emotional. I miss all these characters a lot already. It was a ride. I do still think and stand by the fact that the second book was the best one. So I will rank them second book, fourth book, third book, first book. But this was really good. I think I'm going to round it up to 5, even though I do feel like it's not a 5-star read. But since it's stand, I feel like I'm going to round it up to 5. It's like 4.5. I know there's more in the world, and I wonder if we would have cameos from these characters because I missed them a lot already. But it was honestly such a good time. I really enjoyed just the way it was told, the voice of the author. It's very enjoyable, and my heart. Still have a lot of pages left to read. I spent ages, not like, I'm thinking about time we have like 2.5 hours, already 6 because we went to the store and other stuff. But I think my next read is going to be on my summer/spring TBR as well, which is This Time It's Real by Liang. This is a short YA contemporary, which again I feel like will make it go a bit faster here. And I read If I Could Become the Sun, If You Could Become the Sun, If You Could See the Sun, something. And then I Hope This Doesn't Find You. So those 2 have been really enjoyable by the author. This one is 337 pages, and I will let you know what I think and what I got. I think it's going to be cute and romantic, which is kind of what I need after what I just read. So let's go. Whew. Okay, so I spent 100 years apparently finishing this. We also made dinner, etc. But I just read it super slowly. It was very emotional and very sweet. We follow this young girl who has moved back to Beijing after living in the States for a long time. And then she makes up this essay where she fell in love, and then it goes viral. And then she is fake dating this actor in Chinese dramas, and then they actually fall for each other. And it was the sweetest thing of both of them being vulnerable with each other and inconveniencing each other. And I cried a bit because it was so sweet. And then it was like this friendship thing where everyone usually left her, and now she had finally one that wouldn't leave her. Honestly, Liang can write me so many YA contemporaries, and I will read every single one because they have been marvelous. I have a lot of pages still left to read, apparently. I don't know why, I feel like a scam. So I decided to pick up House of Hollow next by Kristen Sutherland. So I read the other one by the author, the invitation, I don't even remember the title. I had an arc of that, and this was the first book by the author that made her, like, I was gonna say famous or something. I don't actually know what it's about, but I assume maybe it's some kind of haunted house since it's House of Hollow, and it's like horror in a way. And it's 291 pages. I still have a couple of pages after that to read, but I will get back to you for the plans after that. So see you then. So I just finished House of Hollow. It does follow these three sisters that disappears, and then after 31 days they found again, and then they are different. Like the hair is different, the eyes are different, the teeth are different, and then in the future something is after them, and weird things are happening, and one of the sisters are kind of disappearing again. And then we solving this mystery. It was really fun, actually. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. I don't know if I loved the answers to it, but it was still like a good solid read, and I would definitely check out more works by this author when she releases more stuff. Yay, actually a 4-star. I feel like I liked the last 3 books a lot, so I'm glad for that. So now for my last read for the second to last day, I'm reading a manga because now I've completed 3 books. My next manga on the list is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Volume 1 in Part 2 of Battle of Tennessee, but in theory Volume 3. It's very confusing numbering. This is 361 pages long, so that means I am ending on 1626 and 126 over, so that's the third day in a row I go over, but just because it's a manga and I don't bother stopping in the middle. However, I used so long time reading today. I feel like my time today will be a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go and read this, and then I can finally not read anymore. And then there's just one more day left tomorrow. Oh my god. See you then. Hello, it is very late. I'm about to go to bed. Just want to say that I did finish JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Don't understand anything that's going on. We went to this new arc, and I am so confused, but I guess that is just part of this journey. I want to check how many hours I read. I feel like I used quite a long time today on the different books. I thought it would take much shorter time, and it wasn't. But such is life sometimes. So time read is apparently 8 hours and 10 minutes. That's a long time. That's almost as much as the other day. Dang. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know if it has to do with what I'm reading, or like if it's easier or harder reads. I mean, obviously the manga takes shorter time. I just felt like it was such a big difference from like the day I read 5 hours or something. I don't know. But I really need to sleep, so you should see me tomorrow for the last day. It's gone so fast, yet so slowly. This is insane. See you tomorrow. Hello, and welcome to the last day for this challenge. We are on day 7. It is Tuesday. I'm a bit relieved and a bit like, oh, so, but we did it. I mean, I need to complete today, but then we did it. I just read my buttery pages. Word of Kanye was 26 pages. I always forget even though I just read it. And then City of Blades was only 16 pages today. So that means I read all of 42 pages. Woo! We love to see it. The first book for my last day, I decided to be A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. It is on my summer TBR thingy. Oops, that was really loud. So I'm trying to read as much as possible from my summer thing. I actually made a huge dent in it because of this challenge after I read all the things I had to read. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. So, I don't know. I think this is heists and then vampires, and I've been very excited for it. I mean, I didn't love We Hunt the Flame, even though it was one of my most anticipated, but I'm hoping to like this. Even now, I heard a lot of mixed things, so we shall see. But yeah, this is not that long. It is like, I'm trying to not spoil myself here, 336 pages, but still decent amount of pages to read, and then I will let you know what I read after this, obviously. So see you very soon. Okay, so I now finished A Tempest of Tea by House of Faisal. I don't think it was as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I thought that I would really not like it, and I did enjoy parts of it. While I don't think it carried anything that like I would call a favorite or like remember forever, it was still enjoyable enough. We follow 5 main characters while only having 3 point of views for them, and then they're gonna do this heist. But the heist itself wasn't even that exciting or well thought through. To be honest, it was just like we're gonna see this thing, and I didn't even like they didn't make a heist out of it that I felt was exciting and like I cared for. Because in heist, I kind of expect like plot twist or like, oh my god, it's not expected as you think it is. And I know that a lot of people maybe don't like that in heist, but that's what I think in heist is interesting. And then the characters were just really flat. It was just like a lot of dialogues that didn't really bring anything to the story. And I wish I cared for like the romances. I wish I cared for the characters, but I didn't. Alas, I do think that the war was a bit interesting, like with the vampires, etc. And it is actually set in the same world as We Hunt the Flame or Sons of Aravia, is that what the series is called? So I thought that was fun, like with mentions from that, because obviously I did enjoy that world too. And I felt the characters, at least in that series, were more fleshed out and I cared more for them. But here I kind of didn't care for anyone. So overall, just feeling like totally okay by it, and I'm giving it a 3. So not a new favorite or anything like that, but not like terrible 1 star, but just like I read it, it was fine. I wish I loved it more. I wish I like was super impressed by it. But I'm just like, okay, I would read the next one, but it's not like a thing that will be at the forefront of my mind, if you know what I mean. But not terrible, just like not amazing either. So yeah, I wish it was more fleshed out, and it gave me many, many more emotions and felt like that I could really live through the story, but it was just a lot of dialogues that didn't mean that much for me. But I read it and I felt fine with it. I wouldn't exactly say I was disappointed because my expectations had lowered a lot since like initially when I want to pick it up. So now I'm like, eh. But it's time for the next book for this vlog. So I am reading The Lessons Never Learned by Rob J. Hayes, the second book in One Eternal series. We follow Asuka in this, who in the first book is trapped in the pit after kind of being part of this revolution thingy, and then it didn't go well. Were they the revolution or were they brought down? It was either or. But at least she's in this prison and then they're trying to escape. I gave it 5 stars, the first book, and it was like one of my favorite for that year. Absolutely incredible book. And I think that the way that they set the first book in the series with like, what's to say, being able to like have that isolating setting was a perfect way to get to know our characters and care for our characters and build this world, while at the same time it's foreshadowing constantly to a future that we haven't seen yet. So I think it's very interesting to see for the rest of the series, it is a 5-book series, to see where we'll end up in this future that I've been talking about in book 1. And since I read book 1, I've been wanting to read book 2, like super happy to do it, and I finally am. And this is 519 pages. Yes. So I guess I need to start reading to get through this, because we still have, after this, we still need to read 602 pages after this again. So we need to read even more. And the first book I spent a long time reading, so hopefully I need to get going. I need to start. So see you later. It has been a few hours and I'm finished The Lessons Never Learned. It was very good. I don't think I loved it as much as the first one, but I just really love these characters and this world, and I'm very excited to see things evolve. Definitely stuff here that I absolutely did not expect happening, and I cannot predict it. I feel like that it's because it's self-pub, honestly, because it doesn't follow like a certain pattern, and then it could do more what it wanted differently, and I think it's very interesting. I just felt like the story was going to go in a certain direction. It hasn't at all, and I'm like sitting here like, what does stuff mean? What is happening? I'm so excited to see like how it's going to develop. I'm scared, but so excited, and I really want to read the next one, so hopefully soon. But yeah, I just really enjoyed this world. The writing, everything here is so good, so very much recommend. And I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, or like 4.25 maybe. So like I'm rounding it down to 4, not up to 5, but still super enjoyable, and I'm very excited to read the next one. And now I think this will be our last full-length book, because I think we can read a manga after this, and I think that will complete all our pages. So I want to read The Sad Hair by Sarah Hassam, and this was a Illumicrate book, and I heard it recommended as like a kinda, I think it's fantasy romance, I'm not sure, but I don't know how much I enjoy it. I feel like it could either fall under like it was fine and I enjoyed it, like the last book we read, or maybe it will become like a new favorite. We shall see. But it is, I think I checked it, 480 pages. Yes. So I'm going to put it in my thing. After that, we only need 123 more pages, which definitely is covered in a volume of a manga. So last full-length book, let's go. So I finished The Jasad Air, and I just didn't care about anything, honestly. It was just like, she's secretly the princess, or the queen, I guess, since the parents are dead, and then her people are being oppressed, etc. And then she comes in contact with the heir of like the other kingdom, and then stuff happening. There's magic and stuff, and I just felt like nothing was explored that really well. And I was just really bored, and I feel like maybe I didn't give it a fair chance after getting bored of like the first 200 pages, but honestly, the first 200 pages was so boring. And I don't know, I would read a sequel just because I want to see where it all goes, and like, I like small parts of it, but overall just, I don't really want to talk about it anymore because I want to read a manga, so I'm done with this challenge. But yeah, it was fine. I'm running it up to 3 with like a 2.5, I guess. And I that's what I got to say about it. And maybe I was affected with my enjoyment because I was so eager to get done because I wanted to finish the challenge. So poor book, if that is the case. But like honestly, it just reminded me of any other fantasy book that I read ever, even though it had like the Egyptian influence. So that was like what I enjoyed the most, maybe. And like some of the magic was a bit cool, but like that's literally it. Like the plots, the characters, nothing for me there. So now we have, I can read a manga, which is Ramina by Junji Ito. And I'm going to check how many pages does it say it have. 256 pages. So obviously, if I now add these 256 pages, we are at 1633 for today, so 133 over, which means the last 4 days we actually read above. And we are ending on a really funny number if I read like 10 more pages, honestly, which I will talk about soon. But yeah, I'm gonna go and read this now and you should see me soon, hopefully. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I finished Ramina, which means that I am not done. I'm done. I finished the challenge. It feels like finishing an exam where like, oh, after this, I can do that. After this, I can do that. That's what you think when you have an exam. That's how I feel right now. I'm relieved. I am kind of impressed. And I'm done. And yeah, okay. Quick thoughts about Bermina is that I don't think that this was my favorite Junji Ito. I kind of felt like it went nowhere and there was a lot of flying. Beautiful, stunning art, but not like my favorite. I feel like there's like a mixed bag of Junji Ito, but like it's still super, super impressive and I love his story overall. I just noticed like a pattern in the stories for a lot of like similar stuff, but still super enjoyable. That's what I got, but like still like not my fave. So yeah, I finished the challenge. I will do a wrap-up clip sometime tomorrow. I read like over 30 books in this vlog in a week. It's been insane. It's been great. I can't believe it. I mean, I can't believe I did it, but I can't believe it's over. Now I'm gonna go and watch some shows and not read for the rest of tonight. Oh, we did it, guys. Yay. Hello. I exported all my footage, so I know how long this vlog is now. I mean, it's gonna be a bit shorter when I edited it. So I'm not going to talk that long, but I finished the challenge as we know, and we're going to have a little wrap up. This is all the books I read, and I'm going to try to bring them over without dying. Final stats. I read 31 books in 7 days. That's a lot of books in 7 days. Granted, a lot of them were mangas. I don't even know how many, I haven't counted. Granted, I don't even know what else I was going to say. That's a lot of books. Can we talk about that? Should we talk about that? Like, it feels like I read like what I read in a month. I mean, granted, the last 2 months has been a bit more. And like the first book, which was Killing Stalking, here. It's like, it feels so long ago that like, I don't even know. I don't even have words. Okay, do we have a good pile now? I also read, you know, a couple of good pages in City of Blaze and Sword of Kaigen. Those are to be finished on the 31st of May. I didn't finish them in this vlog, but remember I read in those too. But I don't count them as finished, obviously. Here is the pile. And yeah, we ended on, I can't even see, I'm blocked. 11,101 pages. If I read 10 more pages, we would have had 11,111. It would have been 1111, which would have been granted much nicer. But I'm not going to read 10 more pages for this because the challenge is over anyway. That was like, I can't math right now. 600 pages over the goal, but that doesn't seem correct. Apparently correct, but that was because of manga. I want to thank everyone for watching this video. If you watched the whole thing, thank you so much. I hope you had a good time. I had a suffering but great time doing this vlog. You shall hopefully see me soon in a new vlog. I post other vlogs, but these take a lot of time. Leave a huge shocked emoji down below if you enjoy this, and you should see me soon in a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Do I need to turn all of these books for the thumbnail now? I don't know if I have the effort. But goodbye. Thank you. Bye!